What's happening, cats? Rainy day, pouring down rain. And that's good though, because we've had this long period of drought, which I wasn't complaining about because I got a lot of riding in. But today, rain. And like I said, that's a good thing. Anyway, I got scammed. Now, you think you'd be smart enough not to get scammed these days. I mean, there's scams going on everywhere. And, you know that, so you're already on guard. You're already aware of these kind of things. And I should know more than anybody, how easy it is to get scammed. So I'm on Facebook. And I get lots of friend requests, which I usually just pass by. And I got a friend request from a young lady, and I looked at her profile, and she was friends with some other people that I know, some other bikers. And her profile showed that she was a Harley rider. So, I thought, well, okay, whatever. I mean, most people that send me friend requests, if I don't recognize them, or a lot of times it'll look like a very attractive woman, high class woman, and I'm thinking, nah, I don't know her, and she has no friends. Like you look at her profile and it's like empty. There's nothing. Well, this girl had a profile, so I accepted the friend request. Well, it was about 2 weeks later, and I get a private message from her. She says she's a local artist from Akron, Ohio. Now, Akron's about maybe 30, 40 miles east of here. Big, the rubber capital, Akron, Ohio. And she said she's an artist. She does artwork for bikers. Like caricature type things, like almost like cartoony type things. And she says, I can do, anything you want. All I need from you is a photo of your bike and then a selfie of you. And she says, I can put those together and make this art of you sitting on your bike. So this is just like an example of her artwork. But she showed me a whole portfolio of tons of pictures that she had done. And then she had pictures of herself, with some holding some of the artwork and standing there giving it to other bikers. And so I thought, okay, this sounds legit. And she said, for $100, I can do you a really nice picture of you on your bike, and I can have it like printed on canvas, a nice picture that you can hang on the wall or do whatever you want with. And, I said, well, I don't know. I said, that seems like a lot of money to me to just for a piece of artwork. And she said, well, this is like one of a kind thing, and a lot of people have been pretty happy. They're pretty tickled with my work, and, I'm sure you would like it too. But, and then so finally I said, well, all right, I think I can swing this. And she said, oh, you'll be very pleased. You'll be very happy. She says, I haven't had any customers that have been unsatisfied with my work. So I thought, okay, that sounds legit. So she says, well, you can do a PayPal thing, and send me the money. She said, you'll get your print in 3 days. So I says, oh, well, that's a pretty quick turnaround. She said, yeah, I'm pretty good at this, and I can throw these together pretty quick and get them out, and it's not a big deal. So I had a bunch of questions, and like I said, she showed me a whole portfolio of all these different pictures she did. And then she gave me a bunch of different examples of things that she could do with these prints if I was so interested. You know, make a banner or put it on a coffee mug, or, you know, different things. Whatever you wanted, um, she would do it for you. I said, no, I'll just take the print. You know, that'll be good enough, and I think that'd be pretty cool. And I thought, you know, I could even use that, you know, on my for my YouTube channel too, my logo or whatever, a nice caricature or cartoony picture of me on the bike. And I thought, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good idea. I mean, I really can't go wrong. So all the arrangements were made, and then the 3 days came and the 3 days went, and then more time came and went. And then when I tried to get a hold of her to see what was going on with my artwork, all of a sudden, that profile was gone. It did not even exist anymore. There was no such person. I knew then I got scammed, and I thought, what a dummy. How could I fall for such a thing, you know? I mean, I should know that if anybody gets a hold of you online, not in person, but online, and you're dealing just through messages, it's got to be a scam. You know, if they're asking for money, it's going to be a scam. And like a dummy, I just fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, she convinced me, showed me pictures of her on her Harley, and told me she's been riding for at least 10 years, but she's not the best rider in the world. But, you know, maybe we could go riding someday. And, you know, I'm thinking I'm talking to a real person. I was probably talking to somebody in East India or South Africa. Who knows? Who knows who I was talking to? But there went another $100 flying out the window because of my dumb. Uh, oh, how stupid! How stupid! I mean, you know, thank goodness it was only $100. I mean, that hurts, but it could have been a lot worse. You know, I mean, I could have ordered all kinds of stuff from her. You know, if I would have been foolish and said, yeah, I'm going to take that coffee mug with the picture of me on there, and I'm going to take the framed matted, you know, print to hang on the wall, and the whole, you know, with the glass and the whole thing. And no, luckily I didn't do that. But anyway, you know, the other time that I got scammed real bad, though, was with my channel. And that was when I got an email, and it looked like an official email from YouTube, saying that I needed to update my terms of service. And it said, you know, click here. And it was one of those little blue buttons that said click here. And without even thinking, I'm going down the email, and I'm looking at I'm on my computer, and I'm looking at it, and I take the mouse and I click here to update my terms of service. Well, that didn't update no terms of service. That wiped out my YouTube channel. Gone. And it went into the hands of somebody else. That was a big fiasco. I was panicked. I mean, I had to freeze my account, my bank account, and everything, because it's all linked, you know. Uh, and then what happened was, I had the hardest time getting a hold of YouTube, because at that time, back years ago, they didn't have any quick communication route. Nowadays they do. Nowadays you can get on to YouTube and like almost immediately get a hold of somebody, and you know, if you got a complaint or something. But back then it wasn't that easy, and I was able to get a hold of the local TV station, and I called them and I told them what happened, how I got scammed, and how I had lost my YouTube channel. And they said, you know what, that's going to be a good story. We're going to come out to your house. And that same day, the van comes in, the reporter comes in, the cameraman comes in, and they sat me down and they said, okay, tell us exactly what happened. And, you know, I mean, I showed them the email. I had printed it off of the computer and the whole thing. And it made the evening news. But the reporter was also really good at connecting me with YouTube, and within an hour, he was able to freeze my channel and get my channel back. When I did get my channel back, it had uh, political ads on there that it was nothing that I had done. Somebody else was using my channel to promote their political uh, stand. So, um, yeah, that was a big fiasco. And I have made a vow to never click on anything that I get on an email. If I have any questions, I'll go directly to that company or that organization. But this whole art scam, it really got me. It really took me. And I think the whole thing was that this young lady just sounded really legit. Uh, I really believed that she was a local girl, and that she knew some of my friends, and yeah, I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Well, I guess I could say in this lifespan, I've had a lot worse things happen to me, but still, in other news, people have asked me. They said, "Hey, Itchy, have you ever thought about selling this place? Getting rid of it and taking the money and getting something smaller?" Don't think I haven't thought about that, but I'm going to tell you what the deal is here. I mean, you see where I'm living here, and this place is like heaven on earth. I mean, a lot of people would die to have a place. A lot of people would just love to have this as a 1 week vacation to hang out, and this is what I get to come home to every day. I've heard people say, "Well, it's a lot for you to maintain. That's a lot of work. You get yourself a smaller place. Get yourself a little condo or something." I know how that works too, because my mom and dad, when they retired, they sold their acreage. They had 16 acres, real nice piece of property, beautiful house. They sold all of that. They moved into one of these redwood apartments, a little condo, one level. Had 2 bedrooms, had a big open living room and a sliding door out the back with a little balcony back there. Uh, Small kitchen, with an island. I mean, it was a really nice little condo. But they had nothing. They had no yard. The what grass was there was mowed by a contractor. So there was nothing for my dad to do. Nothing at all. My dad just ended up sitting in a chair uh, where he eventually passed. Uh, my mom, of course, she could cook in the kitchen, but at her age, her cooking skills had digressed quite a bit. So it was like the story with the chocolate chip cookies, and she said, "You want some of my chocolate chip cookies I made?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And really, I was staying away from the sweets, but so I just didn't eat it. I'm looking. I said, "Those don't look like M&Ms. They look like little square pieces of chocolate." She says, "Well, I had this ice cream and it had these chunks of chocolate in it, and I didn't like the chunks of chocolate in my ice cream. So every time I took a bite of ice cream, I'd spit the chocolate out, and I had so much of it that I decided to bake cookies with it." Yeah. Uh, I was like, "Oh, okay." And I thought, darn, good thing I didn't eat one of those. I mean, she spit every one of those pieces of chocolate out, and then she made chocolate chip cookies out of them. Gross. Gross, Mom. That's gross. That's disgusting. Of course, my mom passed a year or so ago, so but I have a lot of good memories of her cooking, but that wasn't one of them. But yeah, um, I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell the place. I don't want to move into a little condo and then just twiddle my life away, twiddle my thumbs, and watch my life go down the drain because I don't want to do anything anymore. I like having this property. I like having things to do. The garden to tend to, the lawn to mow, uh, the decks to stain. I mean that stuff. The work kind of gives me life. It keeps me active. Gives me things to do. I like having my shop, my garage out there where I can park my bike and my truck and her car. A little condo, it's like a one car garage. I barely have room for, I don't think my truck would fit in one of those garages, for one. And even if I had her car in there, there'd barely be enough room for my bike to be in there at the same time. So, no, I'm not moving into some condo. Uh, well, then you'd have more time to do stuff. Like what? I like spend my life traveling. That's nothing that is on my agenda, really. I'm not that kind of person that wants to spend my life traveling. I'm kind of a homebody. I'm happy and content with this property, with my friends, my social network. Uh, you know, my ability to go out and do whatever I want and go riding whenever I want, I can do right here, and I can travel from here too, if that's what I want to do. But to sell this place, I could probably get a pretty good fortune for it, and there's no doubt in my mind it would probably sell pretty quick. But then what do you got? You got a handful of cash, and what's that? You know, what good is cash? You can't take it with you. you I mean, I know a lot of people are thinking all the things they could do with the cash. Oh, you could go out and buy another bike. You could go to Paris. I mean, all the things you could do. That's not me. I'm content right here with this place, and I would not be content to sell it, to give it away to somebody else, and have much less as far as nature and things to do, a place to maintain, and wonderful neighbors. And I mean, I wouldn't want to give that up for the world. So no, there's no chance of me selling this place. I've told my friends, I said, if you don't hear from me in 2 or 3 weeks, and you know that I haven't taken a trip anywhere, you better come over and bust the door down, because I've probably been dead in my easy chair with the cats gnawing on me, because I don't plan on going anywhere. I'll probably die here in this place, and that's fine with me. I mean, what a better place to pass away than out here in the middle of nowhere. It does get pretty lonely out here, though. I will tell you that. I'm thankful for the friends that I have and those that come to visit, and I do get regular visitors, and I do take off on the bike regularly and visit my friends too and hang out with other people. Tomorrow I'm going down to. Let's just pray that it doesn't rain tomorrow, because I'm going to go to the county fair, and my grandkids have their rabbits and their chickens at the fair, and they're going to be showing those. Uh, it's a big, big, huge fair, so there's going to be a lot to do, and I'll be hanging out with my son and my daughter-in-law and my grandchildren. So I'm looking forward to that. But every day has another adventure for me here, and I love it. Well, cats, thanks for watching and listening to my spiel today. If you haven't yet, hit me with that thumbs up, and go ahead and subscribe. And thanks for all of those of you who comment. I appreciate your comments. I get a lot of positive stuff, and I am so thankful for that. You guys are awesome. I'll keep all of you guys in my prayers as usual. I know some of you are hurting, some of you are suffering, Some of you emotionally, some of you physically, some of you are just going through some rough times, and that's understandable because it happens to all of us at one point or another. Love you guys. Until next time, I'll catch y'all later.